In the House, I do believe it is the one and only Jay McDaniel. Well, he's actually in his office, in his studio, executive. Any place where there is a connection now is a studio, isn't it, Jay? And it's good to know that. Are you there, sir?
I'm there. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I was just talking to George, and we were talking about the casinos in Vicksburg performing quite well. What's the overall report for 2021 and your thoughts on how we're doing as the new executive director of Mississippi Gaming Commission?
Yeah, I've been just using the word positive momentum. 2021 has been fantastic statewide. Every region is up. It's kind of a tough comparison because we were closed a couple of months, but if you look back at 2019, 2018, doing much better than those years. In fact, we're on a pace, Paul, to have a year better than 2008, which was our last really 2.7 billion was what was made in 2008, and we're set to about 2.6 this year, which is very close to one of those record years that we used to have.
What do you attribute that to, Jay?
Well, the mayor kind of hinted at it. I think there's just a lot of discretionary income that's out there, kind of post-COVID, people just wanting to get out, people traveling. Yeah. 60% of our visits are from out of state, and we've seen that continue. So I just attribute it to, the people that were cooped up in 2020 wanting to get out, and our visitation is up. I also say our casinos are running very efficiently. They come back very strong, partnered with we depend a lot. I appreciate the mayor's comments. We depend a lot on the local, the cities and the counties that our casinos operate in to boost tourism as well. And when you have, casinos is an integral part of those municipalities and counties, it really helps when everyone's working hard. And I just think statewide, you're seeing a lot of that.
I understand you come from the commission side of this, but your perspective on the vote that was taken in Slidell, and it was kind of amazing because a lot of people thought that was going to be an easy passage. And I mean, not only was it defeated in Slidell as far as the casino there, but it was handedly defeated. And I think it surprised a lot of people, certainly the people who weren't involved every day with the politics going on. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you're right, Paul. I thought it would be closed, but it was a 63% no from the parish voters. And what was going on there? Louisiana has a limited number of licenses. They only have 15 riverboats, that can move. And this company was closing one in Bossier, and I think they closed. They expected to be able to move, put a lot of money into the lobby there, had Drew Brees in support of it. When you put that kind of backing, you figure they've got a good chance. But I think a lot of the local officials were against it. Certainly from Mississippi's standpoint, it's a good thing for us that it didn't open because that's a direct competitor to certainly our Bay St. Louis market, our whole coastal market. So I hate it for him. I was actually glad that it didn't pass.
A lot of people were all the way up across the state. I mentioned something yesterday, and I think you just touched on it. I said one of the reasons if I'm in Slidell, I understand that you can't make this a local saloon because you're just going to sap all the money locally. And casinos, whether they're in Mississippi or regardless of where they are, if you're not a destination site and you don't draw a majority of your people from outside to come in, it is not a good idea. And I wonder to a point, because that was just going to be a standalone for the most part, how do you compete with one of the most vibrant industries or casino locations in the country? So I wonder if that had a little bit to do with it, and with the people of Slidell were not happy about this at all. But you touched base on it when you said 60% of our market is not Mississippians, it's people coming in.
That's right. You're absolutely right. I think the people there probably looked at that as, if we just put this one casino here, are we really driving tourism, or are we sucking it out of our own city? And so they probably evaluated that. I give them credit. We rely heavily on that I-10 corridor coming through there, and it's usually people from Louisiana, Texas that come through. And so I don't know how much of that they would have picked up. But just being one casino, you're right. You need more than just that. You need the amenities and the surrounding things that people want to come to. So
I guess you're going to be go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say 63% is pretty resounding no. So I'm hoping that's gone for a while.
I guess you're going to be called before the state legislature somewhere to spend some time at the Capitol explaining, answering some questions as far as one of the bills coming up, and that's going to be the mobile betting app. Where does that stand? What's your thoughts on that, and what's the way forward as far as the commission's concerned?
Yeah, where it stands is, last session, I believe 2 bills were actually sponsored that maybe had a legitimate shot, but they did not come out of committee, certainly didn't get to a floor for debate. So we kind of stand in the same place. Who's gonna bring a bill forward? If it does, will it come out of a committee? And what will that bill look like? Right now, it could take several different forms. There were 2 last year, as I mentioned, that had some similarities and some differences. But it'll really be up to that Senate or House Gaming Committee to push that forward. As far as the commission's position, it's always been if they pass it, we'll regulate it. We've studied mobile betting. It's very similarly done in most states. And most of our operators here already do it in another state. So if it were to pass, it would not be very difficult to get up and running. But my position is that's really for the legislature to decide if that's best for our state and for the gaming market that we have. But we'll see come January if it gets any traction.
That said, most of the people on the Gulf Coast or even in Tunica and other places are big players. I mean, they've got other casinos, most of them in Las Vegas or Atlantic City. So this is nothing new to them. I mean, they could replicate what they're doing there here with a proven method of getting this done. Is that right? They could do that?
That's correct. That's correct. In fact, MGM, which owns the Beau Rivage in Biloxi and the Gold Strike in Tunica, has already put a mobile product in-house where if you walk on property, it goes live on your phone. Right. So you can actually go in those properties and bet on your mobile device. And they've kind of done that in preparation. If a bill were to pass that let it go statewide, they just turn that switch that limits it to the floor and open it up statewide. Of course, you've got a geofence state at that point. But, those operators really, it would just be a matter of how quickly can they get the tech into their casinos. Because once they get it in there, it doesn't take long. The customers, a lot of them have already enrolled and taken the steps necessary to do it.
You think the vast majority now of the casinos are for this? Because I think one of the problems last year and even the year before that, you had some casinos that, and I guess it was enough, who weren't on board. From what I hear from talking to some people, the vast majority of casinos are now on board. Do you think that's true?
I think you're hearing correctly, but I would say it's not 100%. I mean, we have 26 casinos, about 15 different operators that operate those. Some operate multiple, but I would say that's kind of the problem. Is not all of them want it, but so I'll say at the end of the day, that's for the legislature to decide. Is it enough that it would be a healthy thing for our market? One thing I always point to, Paul, is whether we have it or not, it is out there. I mean, there's an illegal product out there that people can go to. So, kind of happening already. It's tough for us to police. A lot of these are offshore operators that do it. We can do only so much. Our arm only reaches so far. So it would certainly help at least take away that illegal market. If you give someone a legal product, I think they're going to choose that over an illegal one. So that's one thing that that our operators and our legislature have to assess. Are we going to really strike hard at this illegal market, or are we going to put illegal products out of the way?